Hello. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Hi, Dr. Priyanka.
Hi,
How are you?
hi, a very good evening, and how are you?
I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. This is Reading Eggs with Ratna Sagar. And most importantly, today is the National Reading Day. So 19 June, celebrated as the National Reading Day. And we are very happy that this year we are celebrating Reading Day with Reading Eggs and Ratna
Yes,
Sagar.
yes,
Dr. Priyanka,
yeah,
there are so many participants in the Zoom session today, as well as on Facebook. Um,
yes.
this excitement is especially because there's a special guest, right?
Yes, I did hear about the special guest. So, who do we have, Shreyaji? If you can tell all the participants.
So this is very special, and we have already hit a full house on Zoom. We have 500 participants, more than 500. I'm really surprised. So this is a special session because today with us we'll have the winner of Academy Bal Sahitya Puraskar in 2017 for her anthology Wild Child and Other Stories, Miss Paro Anand.
Wow.
Miss Paro Anand is, very popular. She's a very popular author for kids, for young adults, and her books. I mean, if we look at her stories, when we look at her short stories, her books, her plays, they are fantastic. They have been, she's quite an inspiration for modern day writers, for the writers of today who want to be, writing children stories, stories that can be, read by children all across. And not just that, but a lot of her stories have also been translated into a lot of other languages, Priyanka ji. That is quite
That's
interesting, right?
wonderful. That's wonderful. I am eagerly waiting for her, and I'm sure that all the participants who have joined us on Zoom and on Facebook must be eagerly waiting for her too.
And a quick yes would be wonderful.
Yes,
Oh, I can see they are unable to write anything in the chat box. Okay, now it's open. Oh,
yes.
yes. And we have so many yeses coming up. We before we even begin the session, I would request everyone here on Zoom and also on the Facebook Live to kindly mention their name, their school name, and their city. So in one chat message itself, if you can just mention your name, school name, and city, or your name and city name. So that would be a wonderful introduction. We can introduce each other.
Yes.
Definitely, that would give us a wonderful perspective of who all have joined the session today. There are a lot of enthusiastic readers, teachers, educators. I can see someone introducing themselves as a principal, vice principal, coordinator, librarian. Oh, students, parents. So this is a full house, and I'm really sorry for all the participants who are trying to join in on Zoom. We have already, a full capacity, and definitely you can join on the Facebook Live if you even get because of the internet issue. I am pretty sure that some of us might be we may automatically get out of the room. So please try joining in from Facebook if in case you are not able to join on Zoom even later on, because this session is streaming live on Facebook as well. So wonderfully said. It's a beautiful day, and whenever I mean, the best time that I have ever had with myself, Priyanka ji, is when I'm sipping my cup of coffee. I'm sipping coffee and I'm reading a book. What is
Yes.
more better than this peace for self, right? Reading is a
Yes.
wonderful habit. What was the like I read The last book that I read was Sudha Murthy's The Daughter from a Wishing Tree. And
Wonderful.
it is so close to my heart. These are quite unusual tales about women in mythology, and it
Mhm.
discusses the perspective of feminism, or how women have been portrayed in Indian mythology, and the reason of fearless Indian women being fearless, and Indian women being enchanting, and they being able to make their lives a wonder. So it's a wonderful book with a lot of stories from Indian mythology. And I also loved the Japanese secret to a long and happy life, that is
Oh,
Ikigai. I guess, have you heard of Ikigai?
I have just completed reading this, so thank you for
Lovely.
sharing this. I've just completed reading this book, and definitely a wonderful read. And Sudha Murthy, again, wonderful author, and I think she is an inspiration. And the way she writes, and such simple text with such depth. So that is beautiful, beautiful. And reading is definitely, it energizes the soul, I would say, not only the mind, not only our personality, and not only other traits in us, but I think it just energizes our spirit and our soul. That's what reading does to me, and I'm sure I think participants would agree with me here. Many
Yes, yes,
participants.
they are. There are quite a lot of participants writing what is their favorite book, and apart from Sudha Murthy and the Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. These days, I read a lot online, and could you guess what is my favorite library?
I think the participants should guess. They are watching us, or they are a part of our webinars every Saturday. So, what do you think? Which library is Shreya ji? And I think me too. I often go to that library, and that is one of my favorite libraries. Yes. So,
And
any guesses, participants?
so somebody is saying Ratna Sagar itself was Nalanda University's one of the
Library.
biggest libraries of
Yes.
Nalanda University. Yes, that
Yes.
is Ratna Sagar.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
the 3,500 books in e-library is in the Reading Eggs
It's
by
library.
Ratna Sagar. Reading Eggs India by Ratna Sagar. So I'm pretty sure that Priyanka ji, you are going to help us to understand the Reading Eggs library, and how our participants can also enjoy this library. Should we
Yes.
look at the library, few glimpses of the same, and how we can browse about?
Definitely. We've been talking about this library, and as Shreyaji mentioned, that there are 3,500 books, ebooks, and a wide range. I will talk about the variety. But Shreyaji, did you also know that apart from this library of 3,500 books, we also have a complete section for our little ones. So we have an entire section of books, more than I think 300 books in Reading X Junior alone. So
Oh,
let me
lovely.
start. Let me start with the little ones. And here is a book. I've picked up this book specially during the time of lockdown, because children are not being able to go out, and their physical activity is quite restricted. But with books like these, I'm sure that they are going to have fun reading, watching the beautiful the visuals, and doing some kinesthetic activity with it. So let's read this book together with our participants. Open, shut them.
Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Lay them in your lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them. Right up to your chin. Open up your little mouth, but do not let them in. Falling, 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 falling. Right down to the ground. Then you pick them up again and turn them round and round. Faster, 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 faster. Give a little clap. Slower, 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 slower. Place them in your lap.
So, Shreyaji, what did you think about this book?
Oh, this was wonderful. And when it was being read out, I mean, I was even trying to do the actions
Yes,
with the
yes.
with the book. The audio, the audio was very. It was soothing. It was soothing audio, and I mean, I loved. I loved the way the intonation, the voice modulation. I think this is perfect for the toddlers, reading for the toddlers, and the pictures. I
Yes.
loved the pictures.
Yes, yes. And yes, we have such a huge library, as you can see, and they are all read alouds. So even, when parents are busy doing other stuff, they can just, play this book, one book, and they can just keep playing. And the child can just keep tapping on the, page to turn it. And, the books are read aloud. So you really don't need a parent or, an adult around. The children can be left alone for a little while with the imaginative world of the wonderful books that we have. And as you can see here, this is a beautiful and a wonderful library. And yes, all the visuals and pictures, I think they really, develop the imagination and visualization skills of children at this age. What do you think, Shreyaji?
Yes, yes. Pictures play a very important role in learning at an early age, and
Yes.
especially for a toddlers. 300 books, you said? That's
Yes.
awesome. That's wonderful. One book for each night. So we have the
Absolutely.
entire year covered. Lovely.
Entire year cover. And I'm sure that the little ones definitely want to repeat the books, their favorite ones. So we have, I think, stock for more than a year, I would say. And what you see right now is the most, I think, colorful and engaging and interesting, inquisitive, library that we have in Reading Eggs. And this is for ages, 5 to 13. And we have different sections here, as you can see. We have sci-fi, we have plants, earth science, animals, science, space, fast phonics, art, ocean, myths, adventure. So we have 13 main sections, and when you want to explore the entire library, we can just click on find a book here. And again, there I think different children want to read different things. Some are more inclined towards fiction. So we have beautiful fiction stories here, and some children are more inclined towards facts or things around them. And yes, maybe we can just quickly read a book here. And this one is Life in Space, and it's a non-fiction book, and it is for the younger ones as well. We often tend to think that children are only interested in fairy tales or adventure, but some children do enjoy non-fiction pieces as well. So let's take a ride and go to space.
Oh,
And we
lovely.
also, yes, and can you see that we have real pictures of real people here, and we also have a read to me option.
Life in space. Eating in space. Astronauts in space need to eat and drink. They sip drinks with a straw. They suck food from a pack.
Right. So imagine that we are along with reading, we are getting so much of information in space, because I think children are very curious about the outer world, or they are very interested to know about exploring the world. So why not read such books? It's talking about exercise in space as well.
Exercise in space. Astronauts in space need to exercise. This astronaut is running. They need to exercise for 2 hours each day. Check your spacesuit. An astronaut checks a spacesuit. The spacesuit lets an astronaut go out into space.
So children would be curious about the astronaut's dress. So that's called a spacesuit.
Walking in space. An astronaut puts on a spacesuit to go outside. It takes a long time. This astronaut is going for a spacewalk. She is outside the spaceship.
Shreya ji, how about a spacewalk?
Fun in space. Astronauts can have fun in space. They play music or take photos.
Right. So I think we all have this notion that, what would be happening in space when all these astronauts go in space, how their life would be really. So I think these kind of books definitely will help children to become more curious about life in space. And they also, offer a lot of information, but very simply put. And definitely in space, people are having fun. All the astronauts are playing music also and taking photos also. And what better than a spacewalk? And as you can see, we have a lovely quiz here. So let me tell all the participants, joining us here, that this library offers, the comprehension quizzes at the end of every book. And for the chapter books, we have comprehension quizzes at the end of every chapter. And let me show you another book and different features of the books as well. And of course, we have a fiction, non-fiction, like I mentioned. We have different series of books as well. And this one is called The Plum Tree.
The Plum Tree.
Yes, so we have audiobooks and look at the visuals. Look at such interesting visuals. And many books offer these notes. As you can see here, these are the notes here, that what is the focus of the book. And what kind of questions you can ask before, ask the child before you start reading this book. And what can the child study, and how this book helps the child in gaining fluency in English language, and what are the comprehension parts that the child is going to develop through reading this book. So this kind of additional information in books also help children to develop skills. And again, if the parent is reading with the child, so the parent bond connection happens more. And if the teachers are using this library, then definitely it is also helpful in skill development and language development. And here, as you see, one pictures on one side and text on the other page, and such simply text written, and the text size is also quite large, so that the children are able to read by themselves if we are not using the read to me option. So as you can see here, Flossie's trunk was brown and strong. Her flowers were white and pretty. And at the end of the book, we also have a surprise. And here the tree is not feeling well. So through a story, we're also, educating children about taking care of the plants, taking care of the environment as well. Through, as you know, stories have different morals, different values that the children can learn through. And yes, this is what I wanted to show everyone, that we have the vocabulary section at the end of many books as well. Several books offer this. And here we can see, words and you also know these. So there are some other words that the child would know. And to try, so certain words that probably the children wouldn't have there in their vocabulary. So these words are, categorized under try these. So again, a lot of vocabulary building just through, one book. So definitely the children are going to learn a lot and definitely enjoy reading a lot. And also, this library has several features. We can bookmark it, right? So we can place a bookmark on a certain page, and children can come back to the same page where they left off reading. Then the children can also mark the book as their favorite, and all the favorite books get stacked to their favorite, their personal bookshelf. So apart from the library, children also get an opportunity to, have their own personal bookshelf. So I'm sure that children are going to love that. And like I said, that we also have a quiz. Now, quiz is an important part, and very, again, I'm pretty sure that we have several digital libraries that, different people are offering, or we have books on Kindle as well. But the quizzes that are offered in this unique program, I think this is, developing the skill of reading with meaning, reading with understanding, because oftentimes children are able to read, but they are not able to understand. And the aim of this program is definitely to make children better, I would say great readers, because reading with understanding is a skill that I think we all should develop. Because if we can read well, if we can understand what we read, I think we can do anything in life. And also,
Absolutely.
yes,
Comprehension.
Raji?
It's the
Yes.
absolutely it's the comprehension. I mean, so because many children, they don't understand English, and that's the reason sometimes they are not able to do well in other subjects as well. So that
Yes.
you very rightly pointed out, Priyanka ji, that it is comprehension, reading with comprehension, understanding, and reading actually improves vocabulary. And the way you mentioned it, it was wonderful that the words are mentioned there, and children,
Yes.
they get access to this wonderful variety of books. I'm just it's amazing to see such a
Yes.
wonderful variety of books, I should
And
say.
let me show you that, in fiction we have fantasy, we have realistic, funny, science fiction, adventure, mystery, drama, fairy tales and myths, and poetry. So I'm quite sure that different children enjoy different types of reading. And definitely this library offers something for every child, right? And yes.
And I'm really happy that we are all here, and this is a wonderful day, it being the National Reading Day. Thank you so much, Priyanka ji, for helping us explore the Reading Eggs library. It has been wonderful. And with us, I'm so happy that ma'am has joined us, and ma'am is here, and we are so excited. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining. Priyanka ji, Dr. Priyanka with us from Ratna Sagar has joined us. She's a trainer. She is also part of the editorial team. Dr. Priyanka, for a formal welcome and introduction to
Yes.
Miss Paro Anand, I would request you to kindly offer formal introduction.
Good evening, ma'am, and a very warm welcome. And of course, I don't think you need an introduction, but just a little glimpse of your wonderful work. I think so. Here we have with us the renowned Indian author, Miss Paro Anand. She is an accomplished author of books for children, young adults, and adults. She's written novels, short stories, and plays. And of course, we are very proud that she is the winner of Sahitya Academy Bal Sahitya Puruskar in 2017 for her anthology Wild Child and Other Stories, which is now published as Like Smoke,
Thank you so
20
much.
Teens, 20 Stories. Yes, ma'am. And of course, ma'am, I'm sure that the participants know that you extensively speak and write on children's literature in India, and you've also headed the National Center for Children's Literature at the National Book Trust India, which is the apex body of for children's literature in India for all the participants who I'm sure they would be aware. And ma'am also runs a podcast, which is called on Hubhopper, which is called Literature in Action, right? And she was also an invitee to the India conference at the Harvard Business School in 2018. I think I can just keep on going. I can go on and on talking about ma'am. But since ma'am, you're here, we are really elated to have you here. A very warm welcome
Thank you.
from Ratna Sagar, from Reading Eggs, and for all the participants. Ma'am, please
Thank you.
enlighten us with your words, ma'am.
Are we ready to start? I think we still have 5 minutes, or do you want to start right away? Do we have the participants on already?
Yes, ma'am. All the participants are very eagerly waiting for you.
Okay,
Yes.
that's wonderful. So I just wanted, I don't know where you all are, but as a start, I wanted to share, as you can see from my shawl and my coat and everything, I'm in a very cold place in
Yes.
Uttarakhand. Um, and it's beautiful. And I just wanted to share the beauty with you. This is my home in Uttarakhand, but I wanted to
Beautiful.
share. I thought too good to not share. Hang on.
Definitely,
Oh,
ma'am. We would love
lovely.
to.
This is beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
So we have a very misty, misty morning. As you can see, I have 3 dogs, so those are their bowls. It's a
Wow.
very misty day. It's been raining. And in fact, I thought I would do this outside so you could get a sense of the mountains. But actually, a little Pahadi Nala, Pahadi river that we have running next to our home has flooded, and it's roaring so loud that um, it would be impossible to hear me or for me to hear you. Now, because of the rain and network issues, I am doing this on my phone, which I would have preferred to do it on my laptop because then I can see you. Uh, but nonetheless, I will have a look at it once it's up on Facebook. I will definitely have a look at it. So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Shreya, Dr. Priyanka, for having me on here and for really chasing me to do this. I'm so really very grateful. Um, and I'm especially grateful because I have a brand new book out. It's called Unmasked. Maybe if you
Lovely.
could show the
Yes.
cover
Yes, ma'am.
so that we can see it properly while I have a cup of hot chai.
Wow.
Unmasked.
Beautiful.
Stories from the pandemic.
Now, you see, this particular cover is by Priya Kurian. She really gets me. Um, I had this idea now, unmasked, and of course, unmasked, and we've all been talking about remain masked, remain masked. I started writing these stories during COVID because for a while I thought I was like many of us were, I'm sure you would connect with this, were feeling stuck, were feeling unable to work. And a lot of us had the feeling that, um, well, I'll wait for this to be over and for life to become normal, and then I'll start working again. But I'm a very disciplined writer, not only disciplined writer, I'm a very compulsive writer. So I need to write. If I don't write, I panic. It's like breathing for me. And so I needed to write. And of course, you write from a place of where you're at. It's like your moment in time. And the moment that we were in was COVID. And what struck me and why this cover made so much sense once Priya um, took my brief and the editor's brief, I was wondering which side of COVID should I write from? From the multi-story buildings of Gurgaon and Bombay and the big cities, the people who live in homes and what's happening with them? Or should I write about what's happening in the slums and with those migrants who were carrying all their belongings on their heads and fleeing because, and who were they fleeing from? They were fleeing from us. And the stories were very different, but the stories were very tied together. And the common binding thread was this horrible virus. Um, so in a way, it brought us together like nothing else had. My daughter was working on a project in Dharavi, uh, the biggest slum in the world. Um, so she was working there, telling us about what was happening and what difficulties were happening. And I wanted to write those stories. But then there were my friends, my peers, me as ourselves. I had grandchildren coming, and it was such a tense time about hospital and how will the babies be born and what will happen and all of that. So there was that world. And what was weaving everything together was COVID, was the masks, because for once we were all looking the same with our masks. So I started writing um, just randomly without much thought as to what I was going to write. Those days, I ran a workshop, and in that workshop, there was a young girl called Jia, who was 13 years old, who wrote a beautiful poem. Um, it is called "What Would You Do?" And just that question is a question that I love to ask myself. What can I do? What would you do? And I'll just read one little bit, and Jia herself is at a later date going to put up a reading of her reading this poem. So this is called "What Would You Do" by Jia Pardal, 13 years old. There they were, walking in groups, thinking nothing. And if you are stranded, unknown city, unkind people, no food, ask yourself, what would you do? You'll simply pick up your bags. And if we could pick up your bags like them, rest in rags like them, pick up your food scraps like them, do menial work like them. And if you are stranded, unknown city, unkind people, no food, no shelter, ask yourself, what would you do? And I'm not going to read much more. But when Jia read this poem out, and I got exactly the image that's on your screen right now of these thousands of people walking. There was no transport. Of course, you know all this, so I'm not going to go into those details because you know it, you've lived it. But generations later, they must not forget that this happened. It's a very important moment in our history. Horrible as it is, we must not forget it. It's a time, I've been saying, it's a time that we won't want to remember, but we can never forget. And so this is what this story is. And once Jia's poem was there, suddenly like a jigsaw puzzle, tuck, 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 everything fell in place. And I knew I wanted to write 19 stories for COVID's. So these are COVID's 19 stories. And I wanted, normally I write at the beginning of one of my books, I write a little bit of a poem or lyrics of a song or something like that, which kind of had a window into the book. But I thought Jia's was much more than that. It was a chapter, it was a story in itself. So in fact, Jia's is chapter 1. So the opening voice is of a child. And the exciting thing about COVID-19, although there were many more stories to write, I thought if I started with the child's voice, why not end with a child's voice too? So here we have your COVID story. Right at the bend, the 19th story is your COVID story, because we've all experienced it. We've all experienced a common experience, a common time in our lives, but we've all experienced it each in our unique ways. So there are pages, blank pages at the back of the book for you to write your story, so that each copy of Unmasked will become a unique copy. Each copy will be unique. I had called the collection of stories COVID's 19. And of course, I finished writing it last year, and the second wave hadn't yet come. It was still during the first wave, and it looked as though maybe we were over the worst. And So I had called it COVID-19, but the editor said, Paro, by the time the book comes out, which will be January or so, or maybe a bit later, everybody's going to be so sick of COVID. Nobody, the marketing people said nobody will want to buy a book on COVID. So we're thinking, rooting around for a name, and my wonderful editor thought of Unmasked, which would be something that goes beyond COVID, because of course these stories are beyond COVID, right? So the book is going to be released formally on, these are advanced copies. On the 21st of June is the official launch, and then it'll be available on Amazon and at bookstores and at other online things as well. So you can get your copies then. Thank you so much for that question, very important. Would you like me to read to you one of the stories? I
Yes,
think
ma'am. Yes.
excellent and interesting story. Thank you, Ayush. I wish I was on my laptop instead, but anyway. So this is the 11th story, and some of the stories are harsh and hard, but some of the stories make you think, and some of the stories make you laugh and hope, and all of these things are so important during this time of COVID. So 11th story is called A Parrot for You. Stuck, just stuck. Nowhere to go, nowhere to meet, no one to meet, no movies to see, no malls to crawl, just walls, and doors that cannot and must not be opened. Rakhi wrote these words in big, bold letters on bits of torn newspapers they weren't getting anymore. Newspapers that she'd never cared to read before, but she missed them now that they had been stopped. Not allowed. Nothing from outside must touch them, and they must not touch anyone or anything. No hugs, no handshakes, strange elbow bumps if a relative took what was believed to be a leap of death by coming over. This weird, wired world where reality moved onto screens and disappeared off the streets. Rakhi was feeling trapped. She played and replayed the title song from one of her favorite series on Netflix, Orange is the New Black. Trapped till the cage is full. The world's cages weren't just full. The world had turned into a cage. And animals that should have been in zoos were emerging and looking in and probably laughing at humans who were held captives in cages of their own making. The song played on her headphones again. How true these words were. Think of all the roads. This is the song, the title song from Orange is the New Black, if you've seen it. Think of all the roads, think of all their crossings. Taking steps is easy, standing still is hard. Remember all the faces, remember all their voices. Everything is different, pandemic time around. She smiled at the clever way in which she'd pushed that word in. She was bored out of her mind, as I'm sure all of us have been. She had seen all the shows she really wanted to online and some that she hadn't wanted to at all. She'd done whatever homework that had come out of the online classes, talked to all her friends, and even hung out with her parents. I mean, much more than she'd ever done before. It was only 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and she'd finished doing everything she could think of. The weekend stretched out before like an infinite wave wasteland in front of her. She picked up her mobile again. Should she call one of her friends once more? She checked her speed dial, looking at the smiling faces, and wondered who to call. Finally, she half-heartedly decided to call Deepi, her supposed best friend. Though she could never be sure whether Deepi, where did she stand with her? Sometimes Rekha felt that she thought of Deepi as a best friend, but maybe Deepi didn't think of her as a best friend. You know, all those demons that come into your mind. Anyway, there was nothing else to do. She punched the number and speed dialed Deepi. Hi, she heard Deepi's extra cheerful voice bouncing off her endless enthusiasm. Rakhi almost threw up immediately. She was definitely demoting Deepi from best friend status. She was way too enthusiastic and happy about everything. She went about looking for silver linings like a bloodhound. It made Rekha laugh at the image of Deepi like a bloodhound looking for silver linings. She went out onto the balcony after calling off from Deepi's phone. She went onto the balcony, and the only sliver of the outside world that she was allowed to go onto, which was a little balcony. And there was Totlu's cage, the parrot her brother had given her for her birthday last year. She thought back to that birthday just last year, with cake and friends and Nana Nani and gifts and so much fun, and then a movie and dinner with the family at her favorite restaurant. It was like a lifetime ago, Totlu, she said to the parrot. He was a good friend to her, actually, cocking his head from side to side and patiently listening to her. He loved her and trusted her. She was the only one who could handle him without his pecking at her finger. She loved to run her finger down his soft, feathery back, and he seemed to love it too. He'd hunker down and close his eyes and sway, shifting slightly from foot to foot. They were in sync most of the time. Totlu seemed to mirror Rakhi's every mood. If she was happy, he'd be chatty and friendly. If she felt like just quietly hanging around, he'd be perfectly satisfied with a little treat and a cuddle. It had surprised Rakhi because she'd never thought of herself as an animal person. But now, well, at least she was a parrot person. Totlu, I'm in a really, really, really bad mood today. I'm so bored and I'm sick of people telling me that everyone in the whole wide world is suffering the same thing. I mean, it's not fair. I'm bored. I don't care about the world. So they should stop reminding me to be grateful for everything. I am. Blah, 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 blah. They go on. Rakhi made a pukey face. The world has come to a standstill, Totlu, she said. But as she turned, she saw that the parrot wasn't listening to her today. He seemed to be concentrating on something else. Humph, thought Rakhi. Even the parrot is done with me and listening to my complaints. She lapsed into a grumpy silence. But then she began to hear the silence, real silence, as though she was hearing it for the first time, although lockdown had been in place for quite a few days now. No car horns, no rattle of trains, no thousands of feet scraping along the road, no vendors, just silence. Totlu and Rakhi stood in companionable silence for a while. Rakhi's dark mood lifted a little bit in the soothing silence. The COVID lockdown had brought a silence to the world such as it had never experienced. They looked up at the clear blue sky, bird and girl. It seemed as though they were mirroring each other's movements and what could be emotions. The sky was bluer and clearer than it had ever been. The sounds of birdsong were clear. Were they clearer because the sounds of traffic had lessened? Or was it because she'd never really cared to listen before? Really listen before COVID, before lockdown, before what, Totlu? What is this thing I'm feeling? Before what? I'm feeling different. Are you? She looked at the bird, but found him still looking skywards. She followed his gaze. A flock of birds swooped past. Their wings caught the rising sun, glinting green. It was a flock of parrots. Totlu was riveted. The blue sky emptied of that flock to be followed by another one of wheeling pigeons. Rakhi watched the concentration in the bird's eyes. She saw longing and she recognized the feelings of being trapped. She had been trapped only for the duration of lockdown. And she knew that sometime or the other it would be lifted. But Totlu had been trapped all his life with no hope of it ever ending. She saw the longing. She understood finally the need for freedom, real freedom. Without thinking about it a minute longer, she opened the door of the cage. The parrot didn't move. Totlu, my darling, I want you to go. I want you to be free. You don't have to be locked down anymore. As he took a step forward, Rakhi resisted the urge to slam the door shut. No, she wanted freedom for her precious friend. Go, she said, stroking his back one last time as he clutched the edge of the cage. Go, my darling, go. I want your freedom for you. I can't step out, but you can. He perched on the exit and then he was gone. In one movement, he spread his wings and shot out, not stopping, a full tilt flight to freedom, as though frightened that her need for him would make her change her mind. She let out a cry. Ah! Was it a cry of sorrow or joy or triumph or relief that at least one of them was free? She looked at the sky. Most birds were going about their business. And it was then that she heard a parrot call out. She couldn't see him, but she knew what he was telling her. Yes, she whispered. Yes. She took a deep breath. She stepped back. She squared her shoulders. Things were going to be different. Lockdown or no lockdown, she wasn't going to be trapped by her mind anymore. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed
Ma'am,
that.
this
And
is wonderful. This was amazing. This was wonderful. And I'm pretty sure the audience members, they are saying it was heart touching. So many of them actually felt they were able to visualize the each and every element that you were talking about. And it's such a heart touching story, especially when the child realizes the freedom of the bird, I mean, and links it to the current scenario, to the current situation, that we
yeah,
all have been caged,
yeah,
we feel trapped, and we are not
yeah.
able to go out. But poor birds, poor animals, they are trapped for
Mm.
ever they are trapped for a longer time. And this is such a beautiful story.
Thank you. Thank you.
So many children, they
Yes.
are quite inspired. Just look at the wonderful comments that
I'm looking
children.
at the comments. That's wonderful.
And
That's really
I
wonderful.
would like to add, ma'am, that I literally got goosebumps at the end. So uh, I
Thank
think
you so much.
that says it all. I can't express it in words. So
And
thank
I
you so
just saw
much for
that
this.
somebody wrote that they are they're using the lockdown to read. I'm so
Yes.
happy to hear that. I'm really very happy to hear that. And so this, as I said, is a collection of different experiences of COVID. So there is a story about a young boy. It's a story called, it's towards the end, one of the last stories, the 18th story called What Have I Done? Where this boy, lockdown and everything, and as many people say, oh, kuch nahi hota, yeah, nothing. Wow, Anil, I'm so happy to know that you have read more than 30 books during lockdown. That's amazing. So there's like a lot of young people, even a lot of adults who feel, how much more can we do with this lockdown? What can we do? We can't, go on like this. Let's start going out. And so there's a young boy a teenage boy, whose friends decide, okay, look, enough is enough. Nothing will happen. Let's meet at night in the building that they all live in. And so they steal some chips and some, cold drinks and all of that, and decide to have like a little sneak picnic. And so they meet outside, but I mean, within the building compound, but where no, none of the families know. And he comes back after that party and he's fine and everything. And then his grandfather gets COVID and is taken to hospital. Now, I haven't decided whether to um, whether to the grandfather's alive or not alive at the end of it or whatever. But I just wrote this story because I want to highlight the need for following rules. I know sometimes I myself growing up was a big rule breaker and risk taker, but this is a case where the risks that you take are not for yourself but for others. um, I hope that that grandfather gets well. There are also some happy stories. Exactly this, what would you do? And when the migrants picked up everything that they had and started walking home, because there were no trains, no buses, no means to get home, and their jobs had been taken away, they'd stopped being paid. This is the image of the migrants walking, and it's a very, very powerful image. And I love the way that that reflection could be water, but it could also be uh, multiplying of double the number of people. So from the building, these children see the migrants going and they wonder, why are they going? They ask the questions that we should all be asking. And then they think, what can we do? What can we do? And they decide to do something about it. They can't step out. So the parents are nervous. But what they do is they get bottles of water delivered to outside their colony, the building outside their compound. Bottles and bottles and bottles of water are put, and the migrants as they go can pick up water. Somebody in the building, they sort of make this WhatsApp group, and this is how you use the social media and other things. So somebody donates rubber chappals, so those are kept outside at the compound and you can pick them up if you want. Different homes start making khichdi, as much khichdi as they can, and put it into plastic bags, and those are put outside, and the migrants as they walk past can pick up. And it's just this, that no matter what, no matter how difficult a situation is, always ask yourself, what can I do? What is it that, what part can I play to make somebody else's life a bit better? And I think that this is an important question to ask. And COVID has been a lockdown period, a shutting down for a lot of us. It's also been a positive thing for in some ways, because we've managed to, had to spend much more time with family. Um, Parents have spent more time with their babies, as my own children have with their babies. As a grandmother, I've managed to spend a lot of time with my grandchildren, which I wouldn't have been able to. There's one story called Home, exclamation mark, free, question mark, where there is a young boy who is in a juvenile home, in juvenile detention. He's sort of in a jail because he has been pinned with a crime that his uncle committed in a home that they were working in. His uncle committed the crime, but he took the fall, although he didn't know it, but he was blamed and he was put into jail. When lockdown happened, um, actually juvenile homes and such places where there was a lot of crowding, there was an advisory that all those who can be sent home should be sent home. So this boy gets sent home. And so, although the lockdown and COVID has been a locking up for everybody else, for him, it's being a road to freedom, a way to get free. So my point is that when you are looking as a writer, as a young writer, when you're looking to write something, don't only think along the one obvious path. Look around at everything else and look around at um, other ways and other points of view and other stories and other angles into your story. That's what makes your story complete and unique to yourself. And being unique is a very important thing. You know, I have written a lot of stories of children in difficult circumstances because I write about children because I work with children in difficult circumstances. And I really enjoy hearing their stories. Enjoy is a strange word when you're talking about difficult circumstances, but they're very thoughtful and they're very powerful and they're very enlightening, those stories. So, as you grow up, maybe you can look at those stories and you can look at those young people in difficult circumstances and see how you can make those lives better. Also wanted to add, Shreya, could you just give me the details? There is this wonderful library project, over 35,000, is it 35,000 books that are, there's an online. Shreya, could you give us the details of that? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. And Dr. Priyanka was just showing us the e-library that Ratna
Yes.
Sagar has launched for the children in the Reading Eggs program. Dr. Priyanka, would you just explain us the program a little bit? How
Yeah,
uh,
please.
uh,
Yes, yes. So, of course, I was just showing to the participants that this wonderful library that we have, and here, ma'am, this has
Oh,
3,500 ebooks,
yes,
and
35 books.
yes, and the unique thing about this library is that all the books have comprehension quizzes at the end or at the end of the chapter.
Mm,
So they really help the children to, develop the skills of reading with meaning or reading with understanding. Because
right.
sometimes children are not able to really understand the meanings of the words. So several books have, the vocabulary or word meanings at the end of the books as well. And if we go through the sections, I was telling the participants that we have fiction. So under fiction, we have wide range of books, and children enjoy different types of books. And in non-fiction also, I'm sure many children love to read about around their world and facts. They probably are not so much into fiction or fairy tales, but so we have again here a very beautiful variety of books on people and society, life science, earth science, work, history, physical science, creative arts as well, health and fitness, and design and technology, which I think a lot of children are interested in these days, because we hear a lot of children becoming entrepreneurs at the age of 12, 11 by launching their applications, apps. So we have a beautiful variety of design and technology books as well, and definitely, and there are different series as well. We have biographies of renowned authors, and here we have some novels by Blake Publishers, and again biography series, so a lot of series books as well. And this library also has the renowned authors around the world. So these are the books, and we can search the books by the title or by the author's name. And we have several books. So this is the authors list for everybody and for you also, ma'am. So here we have a wide variety, of course, and of course we have books where from Rudyard Kipling, Leo Tolstoy, A. Mill, um Roald Dahl, sorry, and plenty others. So we can search it by the name of the author as well. And also, ma'am, here we have the reading age. So the children can really, look at the relevant, research the relevant book as per their ages. So they can just click on this bar, and they can just search according to their age group. And also by reading this, so I let me just show you one book probably. Ma'am, take your pick. What would you like to see? Which book would you like to see?
For me, it's
Fiction.
always fiction. It's
Yes,
always fiction.
I'm of course. So in fiction, what would you like to see, ma'am? Adventure, fairy tales? What would you like to
Uh,
see?
it's something by an Indian author. You have
Okay.
something by an Indian author?
We'll have to search that, but let us see. Maybe are you interested in adventure? Maybe
Okay.
let's see
Ghost
something on
stories. How
adventure.
about ghost stories?
Ghost stories, yes,
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
think we have. I think we have in mystery. I think we have some ghost
I
stories.
bet the kids are saying, "Yay, ghost stories!"
I'm sure. So this one looks like a ghost story. I don't know whether it is, but this is called something the nightmare. So let's just look at this one. The Matt
Right,
Merton Mysteries and the Nightmare. And yes, it has 111 ratings, ma'am. A new
right.
ice age is coming, and if you see that, we have this additional information here, which says it is a fiction book. It has 43 pages, 3 chapters, the reading age is 12, and all the books are also mapped to the Lexile scale, ma'am. So this one rates as 500 on the Lexile scale, which for the participants, the Lexile scale measures the difficulty level or the text difficulty of the text of any story or any actually difficulty of any text, I would say. And here, let's just quickly look through this book. Yes, and the nightmare. And this is chapter 1. So it was middle of the night, and And
Matt
here
Merton woke up
woke up,
with a
thought
start.
he was
He was
having a
having
nightmare.
a nightmare. His face was covered in sweat. The sheet and the pillows were soaking too. Matt got out of bed and went into the kitchen. He tried to make himself a coffee, but his hands were shaking.
Yeah, so even he wants to have coffee. And here, again, interesting visuals, ma'am, for every picture. So,
Mhm.
depending on the age group, we
Oh,
have
that's
colored visuals as well, and very interesting ones. And
okay.
personally, I love the sound of the page turning with whenever
Yeah.
we turn the page. So it gives a very,
Uh,
heart-touching kind of a feel.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
quite interesting. This is maybe not a ghost story really, but something to do with
Yep.
the
Yeah.
Mystery.
nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so, ma'am, after the chapter one completed, and after uh, the, the quiz just prompts up, it pops up so that it's a reminder for the child. So it's time to take a quiz, whatever they've understood
Okay.
of chapter one. So like this, and yes.
There are
So
some virtual prizes as well, Dr. Priyanka.
yes,
There are a lot of
yes.
virtual rewards.
Yes, there are certificates, and also I think, ma'am, I would like to highlight that the children can rate the book and also review the book. So again,
Yeah.
from a very young age, we are just helping children to understand what they like about what they read, what they don't like, or and these are the
Right.
reviews, ma'am, by children. So this
Okay.
is good
Okay.
scary book for me, and these
Doc,
are
Dr. Priyanka and Shreya just wanted to add that please do include Indian authors. We need
yes,
your support in connecting with readers. Um, and fiction, actually, I know that a lot of children start veering away from fiction, but stories are a very powerful way to look at your world and your circumstance and the issues that confront you. Uh, it's really a very, very powerful way. So I would urge you to also add to the fiction, especially and especially Indian authors.
yes, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. And so this is a complete skill development program, and
yes.
library is the most important part of the entire program. So apart from the e-library with 3,500 books, the program has an entire building upon the English, maths, phonics skills. And so to look at this is what the child gets. They learn skills in English. So in English, we have LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing, along with grammar, and also separate spelling skill lessons. We have vocabulary area for learning new words, content words, sounds, letters, uh, story factory where they can write their own story. So a lot of children are very inspired listening to you today, and they can definitely go to the story factory and write their own story there. We run a weekly contest for children in the story factory area. We want the children to be able to express themselves. So there were so many children while you were reading. They they poured in a lot of compliments, and they said, "We also, ma'am, you have inspired us to write, and we also want to write." So that's the reason we have a special area, story factory area. And for comprehension skills, we have Storylands area. So it is a complete a skill development program, and not just English, but also for the basic mathematical skills, mathematical skills as well, and phonics. Because phonics is the base by which children they can speak well, they can
Read well.
pronounce well, and it helps reading as well. So the library being the center, It's a complete skill development program, Reading Eggs. And at Ratna Sagar, we are very happy to share with all the children. This is a program that is available for free right now. So, ma'am, this is actually the skill building program, and we are very happy to announce that it is currently available for free. And any child, any parent can sign up any child
Okay,
for the free trial.
that's
And to
wonderful.
add to that, ma'am, when Shreya ji was talking about the Story Factory, the winners of the Story Factory contest, those books get added to the library. So it's kind of a living
Oh,
library, and the children can read books written by children as well around the world. And we definitely have many Indian children who have written books. So
okay.
lovely. I mean, had we had more time, we would have shown you some books written by children. But I'm sure here the participants would want to definitely explore this library and reading program. So, Shreyaji, please carry on with your much needed information.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
please
it's
do.
just this is a complete skill development program, and we really wish that it, because of the pandemic, of course, as you described, ma'am, many children, they have actually their skills, their skill development could not take place because of loss in learning. So that's the reason we launched the Reading X program with 3,500 books in the library and a complete skill development program. And currently, it is available for a 14 days free trial. And also, yes, on some special days like today, it being the National Reading Day, and because you are here with us, and there are a lot of children who have specially come, who are specially here as participants in this program because you have joined us. So, for all the special children who are here with us, we have this entire program on a Saturday offer today for a very discounted price. Priyanka ji, the discounted price comes to some six, 7
7 rupees.
rupees per day. So this
Yes.
is all together on a very special offer price, Saturday offer. They can go ahead to the website re.rsgr.in, click on buy now, enter their details and enter discount code RE promo 25, make the payment, receive the voucher code and redeem annual subscription. So this is a special price to express our happiness and yes, for all the children who have come specially to listen to ma'am. This is an offer for all the parents, all the children who have come specially, who have visited here to listen to ma'am. This is a special offer for all the children. So this is the Reading X program, learning skills with the e-library. That has 3,500 books, fiction, non-fiction. Majority of the books are fiction books with wonderful set of authors. And ma'am, what do you think? Would it help the children? Would Reading Eggs help the children, ma'am? What do you think?
I think a program like this, which is very targeted and um, very carefully designed by experts, whenever I've done programs in areas where children are struggling in many different ways. As I said, I work with children in difficult circumstances and also children in very excellent schools in big cities and everything. Actually, just the habit of reading, the need to read, um, develops not only reading, not only a love for reading, but develops you in so many ways. Yes, there are the obvious ones: vocabulary, listening skills, very important, comprehension. What have you heard? What have you read? How have you understood it? How you've processed it? How you are going to use that information and apply it when you need to apply it. The empathy that it creates for somebody else. What is empathy? Empathy is where you can put yourself in someone else's shoes in someone else's skin, look through that person's eyes and heart, and feel what they feel. And nothing does that better than the skill of reading. And I want to share with you all, I was not a good reader as a child. Um, I hated reading. For me, it was a waste of time. It was a very boring thing to do. And maybe some of you sort of empathize with me on that. But this is especially for parents. I'm saying this especially for any parents who may be there. We had an hour in the day when we all sat down, my parents, my sister, and I. We sat down and we read for 1 hour. My parents would put on some light, soft classical music, and we all had to sit with a book after the day was done, and we would read. For me, it was a waste of time. I couldn't wait to finish this one horrible hour and talk about my day and tell everybody what happened and whatever, whatever. Until I found the book that fit me, until I found the book that made me sit up and think, I wish I had written this book. I wish this was my life. And then I started imagining. And that is the one thing that only reading will give you, that imagination. I started imagining, if I could live this life, if I could do this, I want to do this, I would do it. And I started dreaming bigger dreams. And I started working to make my dreams come true because of that one book. And that one book was Born Free. It was a nonfiction book, but beautifully written with photographs. Born Free by Joy Adams. It's about a family who adopt a lioness, an orphaned lioness cub. It changed my life. And I realized as I read more and more that maybe, okay, I couldn't be an astronaut. Maybe I couldn't be a deep sea diver. Maybe I couldn't rescue lion cubs, but I could be everything and all of those things and more if I could be a reader, because through the character, I could experience all that. And if I could be a writer, and as I was writing, I become my character. I'm in tune with my character, and I experience everything that my character is going through, whether it's becoming a terrorist or being just a really kid who's struggling in school, or a child who is given a horrible piece of homework, which then changes his life. I become those characters. And so I can be everyone and anyone who I want to be. And I can understand a little bit more about those who I would never want to be by simply reading and writing. So do it. It's really an amazing, amazing thing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, this is, I mean, this is a basic objective. This is the vision behind the Reading Eggs program, celebrating the Reading Day with Reading Eggs. And we are really happy that you accepted our invitation, and you read out these wonderful stories from your upcoming book that is to be released on 21st, and we are really
21st.
happy.
Okay.
We are looking forward. This is Unmasked. To all the dear readers, please look out for the book. Please go to Amazon. Please go online, buy the book. It is
Or
Unmasked
to
by,
or to actual bookstores who are also struggling to,
yes.
keep going. So you can go to bookstores as well. 21st, the book will hit the stands.
Yes, I'm very, very excited to get my personal copy. Everyone is over here also very excited to get
I
their personal copy.
I, and I do want to say, do write your personal story on that last page, on the last few pages which I have left for you. And at the end, one is the dedication page, and then there's an acknowledgement page of those who I want to recognize for the part that they've played in my life. And I just wanted to say one thing, add one thing from my acknowledgements. Many years ago, a wonderful Ayurvedic doctor, Dr. Manu, asked me when I had last kissed myself. And I thought, "Ah, that's really weird. Whoever would be so weird as to kiss themselves?" So I laughed at him and I said, "Dr. Manu, never, I've never kissed myself." And he said, "No, you must learn to appreciate yourself and acknowledge when you do something good. Pat yourself on your back, kiss yourself and say, well done." So, in a very unusually, this is an acknowledgement for me, to me, for being a very hard-working writer who never waits for perfect circumstances to sit down and write. Well done, Paro.
Well done, indeed.
Yes, very well done.
Wonderful. Ma'am, it was lovely spending time with you, and everybody here, they have loved these stories. They loved the way you narrated these stories, and they are definitely looking forward to getting a personal copy of Unmasked, which will be in stores soon on 21st of this month. Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending almost an hour with us. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being
Thank
here
you.
with. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Ratna Sagar, who have always been such wonderful friends to me. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Dr. Priyanka, for being with us over here. Thank you to all the audience
Participants.
members, all the participants, teachers, parents, students. There are principals of many schools, vice principals, coordinators, all the educators. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this special session. Please stay
Thank you.
safe, stay happy, and yeah, stay most importantly, stay healthy, and of course, stay happy. So bye bye, everyone. Please take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a
Take care.
great evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I'm Katie Pike, the publisher of Reading Eggs. I've been working in educational publishing for more than 25 years. I'm a mother of 4. My third child, Jarrah, was 4, and I thought I would try and teach him to read. He didn't like it. You're my mum, and why are you teaching me? And, at the same time, we had one of our educational products, a CD-ROM maths game, and he loved playing that. I'd watch from the sidelines and I'd cheer him on, and that's what he wanted. Yeah. That's what every kid wants.
Let's read Minnie Mouse.
When we started Reading Eggs, with a computer program, it makes all the difference. There's no one judging them. It's just a game. It's just a game like every other game they play. And you see how much they love to learn. That's all they want to do. So a child is 3 years old, can come into the program, and they can learn how to read with no outside help. Nobody had done that. And most parents don't know where to start. There was always this statistic out there that up to 20% of kids don't learn to read. They're the kids who end up, being disruptive, having learning difficulties, and how do you make this work for as many children as possible?
Fred the skunk.
You take every bit of well-researched, documented strategy and you put it into a program that kids love, and it gives everybody the same access. Yes, we have 10 million kids on Reading Eggs now, so just that number is extraordinary.
Excellent. You read a book.
And people loved it straight away. My child's never been able to learn to read, never been able to focus in a regular environment. He's autistic. Now I can't get him off Reading Eggs. That's the statement that always gets me. I can't get him off. And it was like life-changing. You could hear the tears in the parent's voice. And we were always into that idea, better ways to learn. We just wanted to make sure that kids kept that love of learning.
Monkeys go bananas.
Reading Eggs.
Hello everyone, my name is Anamika and this is my son Ivan Thakur. Hope you all are doing good. I'm one of the parents who are facing the brunt of this coronavirus because I have to work from home and also make sure that my kid is learning while at home. I'm sure you would resonate with me when I tell you how difficult it gets to teach kid at home. As a mom, I was more interested in providing my child with applications that provide learning, reading and motor skill with fun. That's when Reading Eggs came into the picture. My husband introduced me to the application and I can't tell you how relieved I am to have this application by my side during these times. My kid has shown tremendous growth. The English, the spoken English specifically, the way his vocabulary has improved, I'm really impressed. I have been using it for a month and I would say it's a must have for all of you. Go for it. Hello everyone, my name is Anamika and this is my son Ivan Thakur. Hope you all are doing good. I'm one of the parents who are facing the brunt of this coronavirus because I have to work from home and also make sure that my kid is learning while at home. I'm sure you would resonate with me when I tell you how difficult it gets to teach kid at home. As a mom, I was more interested in providing my child with applications that provide learning, reading and motor skill with fun. That's when Reading X came into the picture. My husband introduced me to the application, and I can't tell you how relieved I am to have this application by my side during these times. My kid has shown tremendous growth. The English, the spoken English specifically, the way his vocabulary has improved, I'm really impressed. I have been using it for a month, and I would say it's a must have for all of you. Go for it.